What's up, everybody? Brett here, and I'm back today playing some more Surviving Mars with the Green Planet DLC. Picking up where we left off last time, I've got the game paused. I was messing around with the camera a little bit, trying to get a little bit better at using it so that I can get more cinematic shots for you guys. Hopefully I don't make anyone motion sick. Okay, so before we get started, before I unpause, you know what? We can unpause, go to normal speed. A few little things happen. Check this out. I got him pinned. This is for a subscriber. This is for Oz, buddy. Thanks for watching. He asked that I name one of the drones the Opportunity. So I told him I would do that for him. I've got him pinned here so we can always know what he's doing. And he's going to be our hero of this campaign, I am pretty sure. So we've got a lot of little things going on today. I went ahead and started by placing a landing pad for our drones to build. So what that's going to do, let's go ahead and we can probably just look in here and it'll give you a better description than I can. A dedicated landing site that protects nearby buildings and vehicles from dust during rocket landings and takeoffs. So it lets you put your rockets a lot closer to your domes and all of your different industry. Whereas last time, as soon as we took off, you'll notice here that all of our stuff got covered in dust, which means it needs more maintenance, which is rough because we don't have a lot of drones, we don't have a lot of materials right now, and yeah, that's pretty difficult for us to deal with. But in the meantime, we've also called in a supply pod, which is going to land and give us 4 drones. Oh wow, this is a huge area. I'm not sure what happens to it after we drop it. Interesting. But I feel like it probably also has the effect of throwing dust up into the air. So we'll just land it in the middle, and I think at the very least we'll be able to salvage it. Speaking of that, do we have... Decommission protocol should be our next thing that we research. And it would be nice if we could get the applicants before more applicants starting to appear on Earth. So before we even get a chance to bring people to Mars, it would be nice if we had more people available. That way we don't have to take all the people with the bad backgrounds and the weird problems. So here we go. Can we see the supply pod coming in? We can. Awesome. It looks really cool. So we have to pay to call these things in. We paid pretty heavily for these extra drones. And then it just kind of crashes here. It says we can salvage it for resources. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll just get some metal for it. The drones, I think, automatically get assigned to our drone hub. So we had 6 before, and now we have 10. So that's a lot more drones to do the things that we need to get done. They're going to start moving all of these materials to more universal depots. That's great. And next to our launch pad, what we probably should do is just build 2 in preparation for needing to, because we certainly will. And then we can also build some universal depots as well. Still got to work on my shift clicking. Let's build 2 of those. So when the time comes for our rockets to land, they'll have an immediate source place to dump off their payloads. Our buddy here, our RC Transport, has been working hard to clear up all of that mess we had with all of this stone here, this waste. Which, like I mentioned in the last episode, eventually I do know it gets turned into concrete. So it's not a complete waste, and he's done. So he needs another job to do. I was hoping to find some more polymers, but I think all we're going to have luck finding is surface metal. But that's okay. We'll take surface metal. We'll take all, and we'll bring it all back. You know, we could do it here. In case these fill up, he'll be able to use these if he wants to. Alright. So as soon as our next rocket gets here, which is pretty dang close, it's going to bring us some of the parts that we could use. We've got an RC Commander, an RC Explorer, a machine parts factory, and a polymer factory. So the polymer factory is super important. We're going to be able to build that. We're going to be able to create our own polymer from water, I believe, and fuel. So we've got both of those productions going. Our Explorer is going to go ahead and start unlocking some of these that we're seeing all over the map. And let's go ahead and look at the map. Where is that map overview? make sure we've got some land being explored. I kind of feel like I want to expand this way into this corner. Whoop, close, and go back. Build menu. There we go. Still working out some kinks. I remember the first time I played this, I was a little bit overwhelmed by the amount of stuff going on, the amount of things that I had to do. But it gets a lot easier, and doing the things gets a lot smoother. So polymer, what does polymer look like? If I remember right, it kind of looks like metal. It's small and black, but it's usually a little bit further away, so that you can't just harvest a ton of polymer right at the beginning. But I'm not seeing any. But the little drones are working hard. Let's go into 2 times speed. And, oh man, so this isn't done yet. We could increase the priority on this, get them to finish, and then we're going to use our new rocket pad. And they are going to Earth. So once they make it to Earth, perfect. We'll be able to load them up and bring them home. What are you doing, Opportunity? Good stuff. Always good stuff. So someone also commented that they like the radio station. Let's go ahead and pause it for a sec before we get into this. This is another really cool feature of this game. And also, once again, kind of shouting out their weird DLC practices. I think there's a DLC you have to buy that includes more radio stations, which is just ridiculous. But I love bluegrass. I'm a lover of just about every type of music, as long as it's good. And I know that's kind of a weird subjective thing, but I like good versions of just about every type of music. I can appreciate anything as long as it's well done and thoughtful. But we can go from bluegrass to surviving Mars, give you kind of that weird sci-fi feeling. And we could change it up. Every episode we can have a different radio station. I know sometimes if you're hearing music that is a little too loud maybe and it's not your favorite type, it can be grating. But let's go ahead and use our RC Explorer and we can see what it says. The RC Explorer can analyze anomalies found on the surface of Mars. Orders are given with the buttons in the info panel or using right-click. Q tasks by shift plus right-click. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to make him come here to here to here. And then we may as well even go all the way out to here. That way we're not going to have to micro him for quite some time. And he's just going to stay busy getting us research points. So that's exactly what he's useful for. And in case you really want to see what he looks like, he's got this cool like scanning setup on his head. And I made it a he. I don't know why. I have no idea. RC Commander. This is what we needed right now to go ahead and give us a bit of a command zone over here so that our drones can get out and build this. So I think based on his area, as long as we overlap a little bit, we'll be able to pull resources to build it. It can be a little tricky and sometimes it's pretty easy to mess up as well. So what else is on this rocket? Polymers, electronics, yeah, and then we also have the prefab buildings. So while we're paused, actually we shouldn't, let's just unpause for a moment. They serve as a mobile base for your drones. It can be relocated by the move. Yes, okay. Queue tasks. Let's come over here. Perhaps in the center. Kind of slow moving. But now I think we want to start by building a, where would it be? Polymers factory. Super important, very crucial building for us. And we can rotate it. We need, you know what, we might do it, but right about here. Right there. Too far from domes. Oh, do we need to have this? Hold on. Am I thinking this wrong? I thought this was placed outside. You know what? Maybe we need this in a dome. I don't quite remember. Machine parts factory, I know for sure. Well, if that's the case, then we certainly need to start making our first dome. And to do this, maybe we'll need, how's our rocket going? Because it looks like one of the buildings that we may want to get is the moisture evaporator. And to get that, we don't have the tech for it, so we may need to rely on one of our rockets coming back to give that to us. But I don't think we have to have that. It would just be nice. Instead, we can make a basic dome, a micro dome, which takes no polymer, but it has no capacity for a spire. It's cool looking though. I could see making a bunch of those. I also love making the barrow domes, but I've kind of bankrupted myself in the past by doing those. And we'll unlock tons of different types of domes, I believe. You get much bigger ones. So we have a building not working. This isn't connected to power. So let's go ahead and make sure we do that. We can pause the game. And let's build up some power cables. And this is important because it's going to let us expand to this area. Not quite perfect. That is alright. And we'll do something like this. That should have power now once it gets built. We found some anomalies. Good. Have we... We haven't fully scanned one yet. There's a lot of surface metal. So once we get this done, we should be able to start getting more concrete if we need it. At the moment, it's probably better to turn this off. That way it's not draining power and it's not draining maintenance costs. And then once this is reloaded, it's only at 2 fuel right now. I feel like we might have some things that need to happen a little bit faster. But it's not bad. Getting those extra drones was a good move. What was I looking at? Okay, I was looking at getting a dome. We need a dome up. How many polymers do we currently have? Not enough for one of those, that's for sure. I think we have enough just to do ourselves a little basic dome here.
Research complete. Anomaly analyzed. Milestone achieved.
And we could put it... Would it be better to do several micro domes? For instance, could we do something like this? Because they've added these passages. Let us remove this. I kind of want to experiment with the microdome because I think it's a pretty new thing. Where do we want to put it though? You know what? This is becoming tedious. Let's just go with the simple, basic dome. We'll place it right in the center. A lot of infrastructure is going to go up around this, but at the end of the day, this is not going to be our population area. We'll probably move to some flat places, perhaps even up here, or like a big dome here. But we are going to, I think, consider this our first dome. And they are going to need a lot of stuff. So let's start by giving them power cables. They are going to need water as well. Like that. And what else? What else do they need? Of course they're going to need oxygen. How can we put this? We want to place this in a really... Yeah, there we go. That looks good. And I don't know how many oxygen tanks we need. But let's go with 2, because I think the idea is eventually they're going to be connected. That costs metal, so no problem there. How are our water towers? They're completely full. Alright, let's get this built, and let's quickly get it built. And now we have a rocket in space, so let's go to resupply. Tempted to use another supply pod, but let's go to cargo rocket. Do we need a dozer yet? I don't think so. We can't... What should we bring? A moisture evaporator would be great. No production during dust storms. That's fine. Fuel refinery, fine. Man, I love Stirling generators. An electronics factory. 3 Stirling generators. Polymers, machine parts, and electronics. And then you know what? We can also bring a little food. So we have a commander, we have an explorer, we have a transport. Let's bring a few more drones. I don't know if we want to spend all of our money quite yet. But I'm actually pretty happy with that. One more generator. This is going to be a huge pickup for us. Let's launch it. And then our next rocket should be one that brings us colonists, because we'll have this dome in place. We'll keep it off while there are no people here. Let's speed this up just a bit. And let's move the RC commander back over here to start helping with some of these tasks. I should have had that done already. And this is off, so we can take all the drones and we can reassign them to that command center. Should have done that before also, but I think that's a pretty okay thing to do right now. I'm happy that we have this. It was a prefab. It didn't really cost us anything. It's not draining our resources right now, I don't believe. At least I hope it's not. I don't think it is whenever it's turned off. But now we have a grand total of 14 drones in here, and they are going to be doing their best to get everything finished up for us. Still have lots of power lines going. This RC transport is coming back with a huge load of metal for us. Probably going to dump it here. Too far from the drone commander. I guess we probably need just a strict metal dump site for our man. Metal, not rare metals. Where's the basic metal? Sure, okay. Let's shift. There. And they'll start moving it as needed. So, okay, what did we get? Launch SETI satellite, breakthrough discovered cloning, transportation problem, drone heavy load. That's to be expected, but it should be getting easier with all of our extra drones that we just moved in. New techs are available for research. Let's see what this is. Launch SETI satellite. Grants funding. Multiple use of this project will yield diminishing returns. It costs a ton of stuff to do this, and we can't do it yet. I think that's new. I've never seen that before. But let's also go into our research, because we managed to unlock decommission protocol. Allows the clearing of salvaged and destroyed buildings. What did we unlock here? Cloning. New spire building. Creates clones over time. Wow, that's crazy. What a weird breakthrough. Receive a one-time grant of $1 billion. Yes, please. I'll take that. We don't have a sensor tower, and I'm kind of would like to get this first. That way we never pay maintenance on them. Generate 100 of the research per soul for each RC Explorer vehicle. That's cool. Drones and rovers move 20% faster. That's just good. This unlocks buildings for us that we will desperately need. We need a farm to be self-sustaining. A lot of good stuff here. So we're going to queue that all up. In exchange for 200 million in funding, outsourced researchers will contribute. Yeah. We just spent a lot of money. Let's hold on to what money we have while we continue to grow. Actually, I also wanted to see new text available for research.
A veritable treasure trove of undiscovered knowledge and wonder, so long as you know where to look.
Even the tiniest, simple-looking rock can contain the answers to mysteries which perplex the human mind for generations. Sometimes it takes just a simple discovery to assure us of the vastness of the universe, an encouragement to make us look beyond the boundaries of our existence and into the future. So the following texts have been revealed on the research screen: Low-G Drive, Low-G High-Rise, Mars Crowdfunding, Planetary Survey, and Soil Adaptation. And that's what we just saw in the research screen. So I think we gave this our highest priority. It just needs concrete, of which we have plenty. We can check the concrete resource to see how much is left. I believe we're making 20. Available deposit. I think that's what it is. So the deposit still has 1,300 left. And that's good enough for me right now. I don't think we need to expand here. Let's just make sure all of our guys are doing something. What are you doing, transport? Still getting all these metals for us. It's metal. Really just want, honestly, just want that polymer. Whoop. Whoop. So I think we've probably scanned quite a few places by now. So let's go back into the map overview and we can explore there.
Research complete. Milestone achieved.
Are you fully loaded yet? No, we need way more fuel.
Anomaly analyzed.
So this is done. So I think what we need to do is, they do not accept colonists, do not consume power, oxygen, or water. Yes, we'll turn it off. Inspect residents, inspect buildings, salvage. We can also change the way it looks, which is pretty cool. I like this one quite a bit. And it should be turned off, correct? Yes. Oxygen's being produced, which we don't really need, so we'll turn this off. Turn this off. And let's see if my hypothesis is correct. No, it's still getting wrecked. Okay. So there is some value to just not building things ahead of time. Because right now we have the prefabs that we could drop into here. But is it in here? Where are they?
Meteor shower
Right here.
incoming.
So this, oh, a meteor shower? Oh god. So for instance, we could place that down. Our rocket, I see that our rocket is done. I could have sworn this needed to be right outside here. Let's pause the game while I mess with that. We need something like this, maybe? I don't know how like polluting the polymer factory is, and the last thing I want is to have huge maintenance costs right next to our dome, or huge maintenance costs because we're throwing up a lot of pollution right next to the dome. So we also want it to be relatively close to the dome because I'm pretty sure we need workers to operate it. Is this good? Not really. This is fine. And now we can land our other rocket. This rocket needs to still be loaded up. View message. Meteor storm. The region is about to experience a meteor storm. Buildings directly hit by meteors will be in need of repairs in order to function again, while pipes and cables will get destroyed. Rovers hit by meteors will also need repairs, while drones may become irreversibly damaged. Meteor storms cannot be avoided, but some good practices may minimize their damage potential, such as not clustering vital buildings next to each other, pipe and cable redundancy, and researching the tech for MDS lasers from the physics field. Well, we don't have space lasers yet. That's a sad fact. And our factory here is done. This is a machine parts factory that we need people to operate. But we also are going to need, before our colonists get here, we should definitely give them some living space. We've unlocked the ability to research apartments, but we don't have them yet. Let's make some living quarters for the people that are going to be coming in relatively soon. And we need to make sure they have some of the basics. So this provides a certain amount of housing. Can't see it quite yet. They don't need some of these things. Some of these things are just not that necessary. They absolutely have to have a grocer. Where's that at? It's a pretty small thing. And we have to make sure that we're maximizing our space as well. They need a grocer. They can use a diner. And these buildings are beautiful whenever we get a chance to look at them. And we also could use a space bar and an infirmary, which just needs concrete for maintenance. So let's build the infirmary here. And have the space bar, which is pretty dang big, right here. So they all give different things to colonists, right? Wait, was that the space bar? Yes, okay. So it gives relaxation, drinking, and social. The diner gives them dining, social, and food. The infirmary is going to give them medical checks and eventually allow us to have babies. Gyms give them exercise, social. And then a lot of this other stuff is luxury. Aside from the grocer, which gives them food and shopping, which is very important. And then nurseries and other things we'll get into as we get more kids. And it gets pretty complicated how you want to do your domes. But the bigger domes can pretty much have everything. And we also have, I think we can also use a security station, but we don't really need that yet. But we can place one if we would like. But all of this stuff is going to require a lot of concrete. Can we more heavily prioritize? Make that a high priority. This needs to be turned off. Make sure at the very least we're not consuming power. And it looks like we have a bit of a stopgap in fuel. And we can't make that until our research is done. Well, we could also do... Oh man, I forgot about this. Check this out. We bought more of these. The prefabs. Stirling generators. So we just basically dropped, I think they're 20 power a piece at the moment. Or are they more than that? It's hard to tell. I need to look at them a little closer. But they generate how much power? Doesn't say. I think it's 20. I could be wrong though. I know that they give you 10 more if you open them. But let's get that going. Because our power is not bad right now, but once we turn everything on, if we're not ready for it, we're going to experience a pretty heavy lack of power. Any metals back here? Sure, there are a few. And we are certainly about to get hit by a meteor storm. And I also see that our other all our explorer is currently not doing anything. So we need to get him exploring that. Did we discover anything else? I don't think so. Yeah, let's get him down there exploring. And I was going to quickly build a sensor tower. But it's probably not going to do us much good anymore. Let's place that there. Stirling generators, infinite power online. I like to get quite a few of these early on when I can, and that's one of my favorite ways to use my money until I can build these myself, is to just make lots and lots of Stirling generators. Are we fueled up yet? It's kind of where I want to end today's episode, in just refueling, sending that up, and then that way, by the time our colonists arrive, which would hopefully be shortly. Are they loading this one up? I hope not. I think they're just moving all the supplies out of here and using it to build some of this stuff. Everything in here should be off. I guess not. Off. 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 I would have thought that it would be off if the dome was off. I thought that's how it worked. But, Lord knows I have been wrong before. We have a lot of drones. Thankfully, we brought some with us on our rockets. But if you take a big overarching look at our colony, it's a nice small colony right now. It's kind of weirdly shaped, but it'll get there. The grocer, we can take a look at that. It's pretty cool. I mean, for the most part, everyone on Mars is just going to have to be a vegetarian. And we brought some food with us to make sure that when our colonists get here, they'll have more than just the food they arrive with. It's not a lot, but it's not nothing. And it looks like they're working on the diner right now as well. And the meteor storm is incoming. Fast approaching. Speed up a little bit, and this guy is going to be building for us.
Sector scanned. Anomaly.
There we go.
found.
So that's our diner. And make sure we turn it off. Are you resupplied yet? Not yet. Come on, guys. Another thing we can build that we haven't built yet is a drone recharging station. And that's because we have 2 drone hubs already. So our drones are doing fine. They basically act as a drone recharging station.
Anomaly analyzed.
Anomaly analyzed. Let's shift click here. What is this again? A research boost. Interesting. Not long now until we get slammed. 10 more fuel. So increasing the priority of a building that's already operating really just increases the amount that the drones tend to it. It'd be nice if it kind of increased productivity, but that doesn't. It does not work that way. Alright, so the infirmary is also finished. You can look at the little beds inside. Little flowers on the roof. Very cool. Turn off. And we're going to have a lot of jobs for people to do when they get here. Let's check out our research. What has happened so far? We're trying to get this crowdfunding going. What did we unlock? What was our most recent unlock? What is this? Another one-time sponsor? Another billion? We could do a lot with another billion. But I think we really need to get into some of these other researchers. We want to unlock the moisture vapor, and I think this is what it is. This will allow us to build those really efficient domes. What's over here? Productivity training. Okay, this is for the people. Drone hubs are constructed with additional 2 drones, and the maximum number of drones increased by 80. Wow, that's huge, but we're not there yet. We don't need that. I think the next thing we want to get is the moisture vapor collectors. And soon we'll be getting the money, which we'll probably need. We can send our passengers with a lot of stuff for us. Yeah, all good stuff. And we're going to need these farms up and running as well. So let's just fast forward, get hit by meteors. I don't know if we can help it.
Anomaly found.
Good. Another anomaly. Oh, I didn't realize we could
Anomaly
queue up 9.
analyzed.
I don't know why I thought it was capped. I'm going to hit that button every time because to get out of this menu, it feels like I should just hit escape. And that's what I keep doing. If you're wondering why I look like an idiot. Every single time. What is this? Subvista. Okay. Gives you a comfort boost. 5 more hours until we're done. Is there nothing else for us to scan? And I don't think so. No, that doesn't do anything. So if there's nothing else for us to scan, we should just come back here. 3 more fuel, 1 more hour until a meteor storm hits us. Hopefully it swings away from us. Turn that off.
Sector
Turn that off.
scanned.
No resources. We're finding all these random resources over here, but we can't get to them. We're going to have to build tunnels to get up there. Which we can definitely do. I've done that before. And it's not that hard. And here we go. We can finally launch this guy. Return to Earth. And now they'll start loading this one up as well. But we've got the beginnings of a great colony. I think everything that we need is already well underway. Before I forget, we should definitely make another transport route to get all this metal and bring it back. And we also may want to consider turning this back on so that we can start collecting concrete, because we are going to need a lot of concrete to maintain all of these buildings. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed episode 2. Ooh, look at all my drones sitting around doing nothing. That's not good. Anyway, hope you enjoyed episode 2. I'm looking forward to playing some more of this DLC because we haven't really got into the meat and potatoes of this DLC yet. Did it again. I'm probably gonna do it forever, so please bear with me and my old man fumbling. But yeah, stay tuned, guys. As always, I will see you in the next one. Take care.